Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis, and we're gonna start today as well with a bullish scenario for a Bitcoin after, of course, the bull run, which is unfinished yet, with an extended wave 5. You have a 1 2 3 4 and a 5, of course unfinished, where you have a triple 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 and a 5, and you're looking for a wave 4 here, and you're still looking for a wave 5 extended toward the upside. Inside this wave 5, you are looking at 1 2 3 4 and a 5. Your invalidation of this impulse is the 65k 175, reaching, of course, the zone 1. Of course, interfering with it is not allowed as a wave 4 if it interferes with the zone 1. And that means, of course, invalidation of this impulse, meaning a higher potential that you are in a bear market. Now, another potential signal here is that you have range more than 4 times for this wave 4. Taken from the wave 2 here, you can see that the time required for this wave 4 is more than 4 times, even more than 5 times of a wave 2, which is reducing so much the possibility, of course, to move toward the upside. Another reason that I doubt that this can be a bullish scenario, or I give it a little bit less possibility, is that the price action has left the acceleration channel, has broke out the base channel again, the middle of it, and that means, of course, that this impulse is done, is finished. This is exactly the confirmation that your impulse toward the upside has finished exactly at this point. And that, of course, reduce again the possibility to break the base channel and like just break it again and just range in between, and then to break the acceleration channel and to move to the middle line of this acceleration channel. So very, very low possibility for this scenario. Now, of course, internally also we have a lot of reasons to not think that this is an impulse toward the upside. So we're gonna see it, of course, on the 1 hour chart. Before moving to this, let's talk about the bearish scenarios where we are in a bear market right now. Finished impulse toward the upside for a wave 1 here. You're looking at a massive wave 1. You're looking for a wave 2, which it should be finished exactly on after the 0.38 FIP time, which is the minimum requirement for a wave 2 at 19th of November as an A, B, and a C. Now, we have, of course, several options for this potential bear market, where your wave A is still unfolding here as an A. You're looking for a B, and you're looking for a C toward the downside. Your wave A might be, of course, those 3 waves toward the downside, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hitting the 1-to-1 fib level around the 64 and 63K. And by the way, this has to be updated, I think, or yeah, updated, yeah, already. So 64K, 63K is your target, of course, as an A, B, and a C toward the downside. After finishing this, you're still looking, of course, for higher prices. It might be even much more intense and higher than this one that you are looking at right now, where you can see, of course, a very sharp zigzag, for example, moving toward the upside, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A wave C again, of course, to hit exactly in between the 0.38 and the 0.23, at least for a Bitcoin, where Bitcoin tends to not hit the 0.38 normally on the logarithmic chart, and especially that you have a very, very strong resistance or support, I would say, for in this area, where you might, of course, hit the 50s and then, of course, moving toward the upside impulsively and massively. Now, of course, on the linear chart, you might hit exactly the 0.38 and start to move for higher prices. We're gonna see this, of course, later on. Currently, we have to focus on this area to know if we are still in a major wave A, or did we finish a wave A major 1, which is, of course, an A unfolding a wave B, potentially can be a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and then moving for a wave C, for example, toward the downside. It can be a finished wave A as well. Don't forget, it can be a very overshooting zigzag toward the upside for a wave B, which you are looking at right now is a potential scenario where you might have an impulse, correction impulse, and of course finishing in three waves, hitting the 1.38 taken of course from this wave A as a wave B for an expanding flat. Three waves down, three waves up as a zigzag, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And of course another scenario can be the following scenario, that it can be of course a triangle, it can be a flat, or it can be a W, X, and a Y, something here, and then moving toward the downside again, of course, for a wave C. Now, basically, if your wave A is the major one is finished here, you have those following scenario. If you have not finished your wave A yet, you are looking therefore for three waves down, as we mentioned, and you're still looking for a wave C toward the downside after finishing a three waves corrective. And this is a potential scenario where you start, of course, to move impulsively towards a wave C. Unless, of course, the things wants to take much more longer time. And, of course, as we said, that you might have finished a major wave A here and you start unfolding something for your wave B, moving sideways or triangle or flat. So these are the possibilities here, guys. And we're going to see what's going to happen, of course, inside. Now on the 1 hour chart, we can see, of course, in this case scenario where we were waiting still yet yesterday for this breakout or breakdowns at least. Nothing is important anymore rather than just getting out, right, from this area. It's too much, too boring, and as you can see, the whole week almost it has been sideways. Those are days, guys. Days, and it's a waste of time, to be honest. As trader, this is waste of time for me because I don't see any opportunity there and we don't get benefit with our portfolios, right? So you start to seek another strategy or another coin and so on, and that will make, of course, Bitcoin a little bit boring and uninteresting anymore, right? Where it start the attraction to go to the altcoins, right? When the case starts to be like this, very sideways, the investor are me myself. I'm interested now much more in altcoins rather than Bitcoin. And that because, of course, I see a lot of sideways. I need to trade. I don't need to just watch my portfolio going up and down with Bitcoin with consolidation, right? So this is the idea. Basically, you have finished here A, B, and a C, D, and a E, right? And we were looking yesterday for a breakout, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, finishing away 5 at least, hitting the 1-to-1 fib level, which is, of course, an ABC here, and finishing this scenario, A, B, and a C. Finishing it, and just let's move on, right? With any scenario, it doesn't matter, bullish or bearish. But yeah, we need a breakout or we need a breakdown. It didn't happen so far. And that means, of course, I mean, the possibility is that your wave E is extending, but that is a very low possibility, especially on the 15-minute chart. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, 2. You would like to see the wave 3 unfolding, not just like moving very slowly and gradually. You want to see something unfolding. And this is a weakness, of course, for Bitcoin right now. I don't see it as a strength. And if you are also in different scenario as W, X, and a Y here, your wave Y is A, B, C, D, and a E. So this is a different scenario, W, X, and a Y, finished as, of course, a triangle again. You need to break out. And if something else is unfolding here, that means it can turn it into bearish, the breakdown. Because you want to, if you are bullish, you want to move toward the upside like right now. It moves right now because both corrective waves as A, B, C, D, E are done, finished. You want to move higher. And if something is, a new structure is getting in, this will start to transform it into WX something else. Like I cannot see even WX and a Y, but it can add something else, which it can turn it, of course, towards the downside. So we have to be careful. And anyways, this scenario is there because, of course, we have a potential A, B, and a C here, and not an impulse. right? An ABC because you're still under the 1-to-1 fib level. You did not reach the minimum target, which is 1.27 for a wave 3. So definitely we are corrective, and this weakness here shows something very interesting. Basically, also, I would say if you get higher, yesterday we said, let's say we are in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which is very, very low possibility, sideways, very low possibility to be in an impulse, guys. And if you move one more leg toward the upside, this is definitely is gonna transform to W, X, Y, X, Z. Definitely, there is no two double sideways in an impulse. So this is an additional reason today to of course think that this is not an impulse, and especially that you have a double sideways in wave 2 and wave 4. So where is the alternation based on Elliott wave? Where is the alternation for wave 2 and wave 4? There is no alternation, meaning whatever you're gonna get toward the upside is gonna transform to a WX and a Y, or even WX, a Y, X, and a Z. Yeah, so, and especially of course if you get a very high or extended wave 5 here, let's say it's gonna happen because of the lot of sideways, and the things explode massively. So you get of course a wave 5, and in this case your wave 5 is longer than wave 3, and wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, and which is not allowed in an impulse. And therefore, yeah, so these are the possibilities. We're gonna watch what's gonna happen. We need to see a breakout for Bitcoin or breakdown. It doesn't matter for me. It's just I want to see the portfolio moving on and not just standing by, right? Yep, so that was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.